Hello my dear students. Today we are going to solve another worksheet which is totally based from questions of your past papers. So practicing this worksheet will be surely a great help in revising the topics from your course. So let us begin with the MCQs. The first MCQ is two esters have the same molecular formulae C3H6O2. What are the names of these two esters? First, you must be very sure and clear about drawing the structure formulae for these esters. When you complete drawing their structures, you will get to know that structure 1 and structure 3 are same. So here goes B, the right answer. The next MCQ is, which is the correct definition of isomer? So let's read all the options. A, atoms with the same relative atomic mass. It's not about the atoms. It's about having compounds. So again, the elemental option is also omitted. Now we have to see option B. Compounds with the same molecular formula and different structural formula. Yes, that is very true that isomers are the compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula. Okay, now the next one. The third MCQ is, which statement about vegetable oil and margarine made from it is correct? You know, margarine is made from vegetable oil when hydrogenation is carried on. Means the unsaturated bonds or double bonds in vegetable oil are hydrogenated by the addition of hydrogen and saturation is achieved. So we see which is correct. Statement A, both are liquids at room temperature. No, vegetable oil is liquid but margarine is a solid. Both are naturally occurring. No, vegetable oil is naturally occurring and margarine is industrially made by hydrogenation. D, vegetable oil has fewer carbon-carbon double bonds. No, vegetable oil is comparatively higher in unsaturations because of having a greater number of double bonds in it. So we are left with C only now, and that is margarine has higher melting point because the oils are liquid at room temperature and margarines are solids. So they are melted at relatively higher melting point. The next is, how can a pure sample of barium sulfate be obtained from barium carbonate? Now you see how we can prepare it. Dissolve it in dilute hydrochloric acid. Although barium carbonate is sparingly or very less soluble in water, but it will be dissolved in water and dilute sulfuric acid will be added into it. It will be filtered because barium sulfate is insoluble in water, and finally it will be washed. So option D goes the most sensible. Okay, the fifth MCQ is, which statement is not correct? Means three statements are correct, only one is the wrong one, which is the correct answer. So we read A, energy is released when a liquid changes into a solid. Yes, of course. B, particle moves faster in the gaseous state than in the liquid state. That's absolutely very true. C, the carbon atoms in the gaseous methane are further apart than those in the solid diamond. Yes, very true. Now we see option D. There is a large decrease in the volume of the solid metal when pressure is applied. No, this is the wrong statement and is the correct answer, because metals are very hard solids with a high density, and they rather compressed when pressure is applied, because there is no more space among the particles of a metal solid, and they are totally incompressible. Now MCQ number 6. Which statement is correct? Now in this MCQ, 3 of the statements are wrong and only one is correct. So you see, the fluoride ion contains more electron than a sodium ion. Both of the elements, fluorine and sodium, are different proton numbers. So there is no comparison between their subatomic particles. Then the sodium ion contains more neutrons than a fluoride ion. Again, it's a wrong one. The two ions contain the same number of electrons in each other. No. When we see D, the two ions contain the same number of protons. Yes. What do you think for this one? The two ions contain the same number of protons. This is the correct one, because it's not the proton which changes during ion formation. It's the number of electron. MCQ number 7. Which dot and cross diagram showing all the outer electrons of each atom is not correct? Okay, we see diagram A, in which both of the hydrogen atoms are completing their doublet. That's right. We see D. Carbon is tetravalent, having 4 electrons in its valence shell and completing its octet, and 4 different hydrogen atoms are mutually sharing their electrons to complete their doublet. It's again true. We see the structure of carbon dioxide. Here again 4 dots of carbon are present in the valence shell, and 6 electrons, which are shown by cross, are present in oxygen, and they are making 2 bonds, means 2 pairs of electrons are shared. Again, it is true. But here we can see there is one thing wrong, or rather you can say incomplete, because chlorine does not have a single electron. It has 8 electrons to achieve, and it belongs to group 7A. So 7 electrons are already present in chlorine, and it is sharing 1 more. So B is the wrong one. Now MCQ number 8. Which statement shows that the graphite and diamond are different forms of the element carbon? A. Both graphite and diamond have giant molecular structure. It's not the criteria. B. Complete combustion of equal masses of graphite and diamond produce equal masses of carbon dioxide, means they have carbon in them, and on complete combustion they are producing carbon dioxide. Yes, that is a chemical reaction which proves the presence of element carbon in the sample. We see option C. Graphite and diamond have different melting points. It's about the physical properties. D. Graphite conducts electricity, whereas diamond does not. This property does not show any elemental identification, so option B is the right one. The 9th MCQ. In order to form a compound with oxygen, an atom of group 2 element must First we see, do we have something in our mind? Some element which belongs to group 2? Yes. And when magnesium forms a compound with oxygen, it's a kind of ionic compound. And in making magnesium oxide, magnesium has to lose 2 electrons. And these 2 electrons are gained by oxygen. So this is how the ionic bond is formed. So now we see the options. Option A, transfer 2 electrons to an atom of oxygen. Yes, that's the truemost situation. B, receive 2 electrons. No. C, shares electron. No, it is not a covalent bond. D, bond with 2 atoms of oxygen. No, oxygen is bivalent. So A goes the correct answer. Now in number 10, we have to see copper wire is used to complete an electrical circuit. Okay, because copper is a conductor. What happens in the copper wire? Option A, electrons move along the wire to the negative terminal. It's not the flow. Electron flows from negative terminal to positive terminal. So A is omitted. Now B, electrons move along the wire to the positive terminal and positive ion move. No, only electrons move in electricity, not the positive ions. D, negative ions move along the wire to the positive terminal and positive ions move to the negative terminal. It is the old story of conventional current. But when we see option C, electrons move along the wire to the positive terminal and positive ions stay in position. Yes, it's only the electron flow from the negative terminal to the positive terminal which makes the current flow in an electrical circuit. Now we go on the theory section, which is from organic chemistry. What organic compounds are called alcohols? Alcohols are the compounds in which aliphatic carbon is bonded to hydroxyl group. And how they are classified? It's about the number of hydroxyl groups and the attachment of this hydroxyl group, which is the functional group, to carbon. Alcohols are classified as primary, secondary and tertiary just on the basis of their attachment. The next part is molybdenum is a transition element. It is used to make steel that is extremely hard. Means molybdenum is a very useful element. Now the question part is molybdenum can be manufactured by heating together molybdenum oxide, formula is MoO3, and aluminium. Now construct an equation for it. As it is given in the words, so we will be writing the equation very easily and happily. So molybdenum symbol is M capital, O small, and this is 3 atoms of oxygen making molybdenum oxide is reacting with aluminium. Arrow, molybdenum is reduced and aluminium is oxidized. When we see at the balancing, okay, it is balanced now. Now the next part is explain why this reaction involves both oxidation and reduction. As you can see, molybdenum oxide is undergoing reduction because oxygen is lost, and this oxygen is going to aluminium. So aluminium is oxidized in this reaction. The C part is what mass of molybdenum can be made from 125 gram of molybdenum oxide, and you have to show the working for this. Okay, I'm ready for it. Let's see. We have to see how much molybdenum can be made from 125 gram of molybdenum oxide. So we see from molybdenum oxide we are getting molybdenum, and the relative atomic mass of molybdenum is 96. So we have to see how much gram is present in molybdenum oxide. You have to see 96 of molybdenum and 16 thrice will be oxygen grams. So on total it will be 144 gram. So 144 gram of molybdenum oxide is giving us 96 gram of molybdenum. So we see what is the number of moles of molybdenum oxide. How much gram is given? Again, now we see 144 gram of molybdenum oxide is producing 96. So 1 gram will be giving 96 by 144. Now in the question 125 gram is given. So we will be multiplying this unit value by 125. So we get 83.3 gram. So you do the same calculation by unit method. Now I am leaving you with a hope that this discussion was really helping in selecting the right answers and in composing the answers of theory section. I am leaving you with a hope that you will complete your work as soon as possible. Then I will come up with the pending videos. Thank you, class. Wish you good luck. Take care.